Hello, AC Universe, and welcome to Canada Crossing. Today, we are on the finally completed island of Snow Bay, and we are ready to do the complete island tour. So starting off, you can see this beautiful flag that I designed myself. Yeah, you can see why I don't normally do custom designs, and I prefer to download them, but I couldn't really find anything I wanted, so I thought maybe I'll try my hand at actually designing. But clearly, maybe I should stick to downloading. But you know what? At least I can say I tried. And it's an S, maybe, kind of looks like a 5, backwards, upside down 5. I'm not sure what's going on there. And it's autumn, which is what the season our island is set in, so yeah, we're gonna go with that. So first, like always, I'll bring up my map so you can see what we've got going on here. So just one resident, myself. Our villagers are Mitzi, Zell, Butch, Deli, Tangy, Frida, Queenie, Megan, Bob, and Apple. Right up below, you can see my dream address, so come along and dream of the beautiful city island of Snow Bay. I will also have the dream address in the description below, as well as the custom codes, design codes that I've used on this island. So, like I said, this is a city island. It was challenging. It was the first time I've ever done a CityCore island. But I have to say, overall, I love this island. It's almost sad to delete it and start afresh because I really fell in love with Snow Bay. I originally had wanted to do Snow Bay in the winter because, of course, that makes sense. But as I was kind of preparing the island in the fall, I was like, I really like the fall. So I kept going with the fall aesthetic. So we kind of stuck with the fall aesthetic. And so, yeah. So let's just get on with the tour. Right off the airport, I have this little kind of random sitting area. It's nothing too extraordinary. It's basically, the thought behind Snow Bay is, it is an older town that is somewhat in the midst of being renovated or rejuvenated. They don't have all the funds to complete all the areas at once, so that's kind of the town lore I'm going with. So you're going to see areas like this, which looks very well put together. You know, it's right off the airport, so the town has put the money towards fixing this area. And you're going to see areas that maybe they need to spend some more money fixing up. So that's kind of the town lore I'm going with here on Snow Bay. So again, it's simple, but I think it's really pretty. I like how it turned out. And I've never really toured this island, so this is going to be quite interesting for me to kind of figure out the right way to go. So my resident service building is right off the front. I love the road path. Like, that was my whole inspiration for this island, is the road path. I think it's so realistic looking, you know, adding the sewer grates and the other little details to it, I think really enhanced the whole experience. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. So my resident service building was very close to the airport, which I was fine with for this particular island. And then right across, we have a park. Again, lots of weeds, so the park has not been properly taken care of. It's a work in progress. The city has not found the finances to completely hire caretakers. So we have some weeds everywhere. You know, some of the equipment is out of order. The playground toys, nice little beach soccer field, which of course has not been taken care of. So that's kind of what, like I said, we were going for. And same with on the beach here. You know, the basketball court has some cracks and whatnot. So I really think that's kind of what I wanted. Was my inspiration, was kind of being like, you know, the rundown city. It's old. It's been around for a while. And so I think the park kind of exudes that. Across from the park, we have the Nook's Cranny build, which was a speed build on my channel. You guys seem to really like it, so that's great. Put a little gas station next to it. Again, behind it, just, you know, some boxes and whatnot and garbage that would be at a store. We go up from Nook's Cranny and we have the Able Sisters with their Sidewalk sale. This was also part of the speed build video. Again, it's nothing too extravagant, but I really like how it turned out. I kind of, stacked all three and then the museum's right on top. So just displaying some of the statues around and having a little bench. It looks very CityCore, right? Like, that's what I want. I'm not really into making a big production of the museum. The museum is already a huge building on our island. And some people do some incredible builds around it. I've always just kind of tucked it somewhere. I don't know why. Well, probably because I don't really go in there that much, if I'm honest, even though it's a beautiful building inside. But once you've filled it, I don't know, you don't really need to go in there that much. So it's also connected right to the resident service. And then behind the resident service, I just put a little boardwalk. Again, very simple, but very effective. I really like how it turned out. And there's this river behind it. And then I just continued the cliffs on from the museum. And I love that view. Putting the different kinds of trees and the different levels of waterfall. Really happy with how that turned out. So it's kind of the one kind of more cottagecore theme, if you could say that, element to this island. But I mean, in my mind on this island, it was probably man-made and things like that. So yeah, it looks good. I'm happy with that. So let's go this way first. We'll do this neighborhood. So this neighborhood consists of 5 villagers, and they each have their own little yard. And again, they're kind of nothing extraordinary to their yards. Barbecue. These are the moon cakes. It's a newer item in the game, but to me they almost look like meat, like little steaks or little hamburgers or something like that. So that's why I use them next to the barbecue. So let your imagination run wild. This is Mitzi's house, and these 5 houses were all chosen because they're the same type of house in 2 different colors. So I have yellow, kind of mustardy color, and then this one, this is Butch's house, and it's the more orange variety. So it's kind of like this was a planned neighborhood with a set builder building these houses, and they all have the same kind of house. So the villagers on this island were definitely more chosen for their houses, and not necessarily who they were. Which is the first time I ever did that, which I thought, I never really looked at their houses as reasons to bring a villager to an island. But I thought in this case, doing a city neighborhood, it made the most sense. And back here, so she's got Tangy, this is Tangy's place. She's got a bit of a longer driveway because it's a little more the country area of the city, or at least, that city person trying to be country. So she's got a little mini farm area. And a little pumpkin patch, of course, because it's the autumn. We need pumpkins around. And she was the last one to join our island, she ended up being an autofill, believe it or not. And her house matched perfectly. I thought I was going to have to do a big villager hunt for another person with the right kind of house, but I can't believe I managed to get her, which is perfect. And she's a sweetheart, so we really like her on this island. She does have a little bridge going over to the other section of the island, but we're not going to go that way yet. We'll go this way. So we'll come back along and we'll go over the bridge first. So this was my real inspiration, and if you've seen my opening and closing credits on my other videos or all my videos, this is where it was shot, and I just loved the idea of walking down a street with trees on both sides and, utility poles and light posts. So I really like this area, and it kind of bridges the 2 areas of my island together. We're coming up to what I would call the downtown core of Snow Bay. So it's kind of there, and it's just kind of trees on this side. This side has more trees, but if you go a little further, there's a little tiny park and pond area with some ducks. This is where the city people come and feed the ducks when they shouldn't be. And that's, it's simple, but it's kind of really pretty, especially with the fall leaves on the island. So it's November 30th in my island. Yeah, November 30th. So that was, I wanted late fall, and come December, the leaves all turned to just that brownie color. So I still wanted the red, so we got all the red leaves, which I really love. So we're approaching our downtown area. This area, again, is one I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I really feel like when you walk down this street here, you're just walking downtown. And I'm excited about it because, again, it was something completely out of my comfort zone, but I really enjoy it a lot. But we'll start off with the part I don't really enjoy. So we'll do the beach. So I wanted to do kind of just that boardwalk, but I don't know. I don't know what I wanted here, honestly. I'm not overly happy with it, but I didn't really have any other ideas for this section. So it's just a couple benches on a boardwalk. You know, the end we have lighthouse, because you have to have a lighthouse and a lookout. It's pretty basic. It's, again, I don't even like the way the path turned out on it. So when you come visit my island, just ignore this one section. But so talking about the downtown, so first I have this little flea market. Every stand has a different kind of theme. So we have the books, we have the gold, the vintage toys, and more of the antiques. So again, not a novel idea, but I thought it was it fit the area, and especially because this is kind of an older downtown area, I thought having a flea market made sense. So along the backdrop is basically just a whole bunch of different buildings. They don't necessarily have any real story or function behind them. They're just kind of random. I just wanted different types of buildings to actually simulate a downtown area. I mean, some of them are obvious, like that's obviously a church, but most of them don't really have a function. This last one is maybe like a little, cafe area, coffee house or something. But other than that, there's no real function. Right here, we just have a little seating area with a fountain. I love the way it looks. Again, and this is so simple, but it really looks like an area that would be, in your downtown section. And then we have a convenience store. This was an idea I saw on Pinterest or Instagram, I can't remember. But I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Looks really cool, but not my idea, but definitely happy with it here, and it fits right in. And then a little cotton candy stand and little, the fortune cookie cart. And then we have a bus stop, one of two bus stops on the island, so you can only go from one spot to another apparently. But that's there. Then we have my 2-tier cafe, which there is a speed build for. So I really had wanted to do a building with an incline on it. So it made it like a 2-tier building that you could actually access the second level. So I'm quite happy with how it turned out, considering, the inclines are, I wish it was kind of half that size to make it look more realistic, but, I'm okay with it. I actually really, I like the way it turned out. And then lastly, one of the last speed builds we did on this island was the pub. I haven't changed too much about it. I really more or less just wanted to do a parking lot. That was the main inspiration because I had the space, and I thought a parking lot would be perfect. So that's what we have going on here. And then along the back, so this little alleyway, and this is kind of the receiving area for downtown and like the garbage area. So this is where all the products would come via ship. So they would receive all the products for all the stores downtown. And it's also, garbage area. This is unfortunately realistic of what it would look like behind all these stores and buildings. I did want to do a little outdoor gym. I haven't used a lot of the exercise equipment before, so I thought it would be kind of fun to do that. And I had this space across from this little pond. I did want to add a little pond here just to add a little water feature. And then behind the gym, or next to the gym, I should say, and behind all the buildings, we have more just a garbage area for all these buildings. I put the tall fence behind because I think that would be kind of realistic to kind of block the nasty garbage area from the ocean. I also put these wind turbines on the back too, so we have a power source for the island. And yeah, it just kind of goes all back there, and stack your recyclables. There's a little seating area back here. It's kind of where I imagine the employees take their breaks or whatever. And that's kind of that's the kind of the gist of the downtown area. Let me know what you think. I'm really happy with it. Hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. So just to come full circle, we'll go back around this way. So over this bridge, leading back to the main section, I did a little construction area, because that's typical. Roads are under construction all the time. And walking along this side, so we have a little flower shop and a newspaper stand. And that just kind of leads us back to the front where Nook's Cranny is and whatnot. And the second bus stop of the island. So you can't go too far. By bus, anyway. And then I did this kind of boardwalk area that it's like a kind of rundown, it's kind of where all the garbage ends up, and bad things probably happen on this boardwalk kind of thing. It's kind of trash, and that's kind of what I wanted. I don't know, I just was inspired by all the garbage and the barrels, the oil canisters, all those. Like, I never really used them they never really fit on any kind of island I ever had. And all the cardboard boxes and things like that, all the scattered papers on the ground, I was just thought, okay, this is the one time I'm going to be able to use these items, and it kind of makes sense as far as the build goes. So I actually really love this area. My villagers, surprisingly enough, come down here all the time, which is really funny. You'd think they wouldn't want to be around this area, but no, they love hanging out here. Maybe they're up to some shady business, I'm not sure, but this is where they love hanging out. And then it just kind of exits on the other side. Again, wanted the weeds everywhere to kind of just say, we're not really taking care of this area. And threw another lighthouse up there, and it just kind of brings up back to the beach. And Gulliver's waiting for me, but he's going to be waiting a while. And this is just a little seating area because this is my house, so it's kind of my private beach. At least that's what I'm saying. So my house kind of ends there. This is maybe the first time. This is where I placed my original tent when the game started, and I've never moved my house. It's been here the whole time. I don't know that that's ever happened on any island I've ever made. It was supposed to be just a place that my house was going to be out of the way, and it just kind of turned out like I would like to live here. Like, I have my own little pier and my own private beach, and when I customized my house to this customization, I just really liked it. I don't think I've ever changed it since. So I'll give you a quick house tour. There's nothing extremely exciting about the house, but it's weird because all my other builds have been very nature, very forest cottagey, and when you go inside my house, it's all very modern and cold and like straight lines. And it's funny, this is my city island, and I went complete opposite of my house. So my house is very, very country, very farmhouse. So I don't know what to say about that. I don't know why, but I really like this main room, this kitchen. So cozy. This is a kitchen I would love to spend some time in. Eating, not cooking, just to clarify. But yes, I think this kitchen is really nice. And that's the kitchen. Next to it, we have the living room. So the living room, my concept was basically green. I had this green sofa, and I just wanted to put a whole bunch of green stuff. So I left the lights off just to kind of give it that cozy atmosphere. And like the wallpaper's green. I've got this green floor rug, and all the accents are green. I managed to get a bunch of villager photos from them in this island, so I put a few up here, and there's a few up in my bedroom. And yeah, I like cozy. It's cozy. It's full. Does not match a city island. So this is the bathroom. My color is basically white and blue. I wanted to also remember yes, my house is in the city, but I also live on the pier and right next to the ocean. So that was kind of my inspiration for a lot of the rooms in the house, was more like yes, it's a city, but I'm also right on the ocean, cottage type feel, very ocean colors and views. So again, pretty simple bathroom, but okay, so this is my bedroom. I really like this one too. I try to shove a lot of things up on the walls and all my house builds. That was something I failed at before, and I find the more things you put on your walls, the more homey it looks. So that was my kind of goal in this house, even though it's hard when you don't have a lot of items because you haven't, been playing on. I think I started this island not even 3 months ago, so it's hard to collect all the items you need. I mean, I won't say that I didn't get stuff from my other island, but because that would be a lie. But I also try to use items I don't use or haven't used, like these shell lights. I really think they're kind of cool. I've never used them in a build before, but they kind of, again, I'm next to the ocean. I've got this like, I don't know what it's called, like a ocean globe there. I'm trying to include a bunch of ocean type water things to kind of signify that we do live right next to the ocean. So my upstairs is pure fantasy. It has nothing to do with the house, nothing to do with the island. More just, I love this wallpaper, and it's just a bunch of stuff that I wanted to use that I couldn't fit anywhere else. So it's kind of like this mysterious river in this, I don't know, jungle or forest, and people set up some campgrounds here. Again, it has nothing to do with anything. If you looked at my other island, Red Falls, I kind of did the same thing with the upstairs room, just kind of made it fantasy based and had nothing really to do with anything. So, we get so many cool wallpapers and floorings in this game that really aren't realistic for a house. So it's fun to try to use them and try to do something different. So that was kind of my inspiration up here. Alright, so then we have the basement. So I wanted to make the basement like a typical basement where you store things. I threw some shelves and bookshelves. We always end up with tons of books in our basements. A bunch of things just hung up the wall that you gather throughout the years. All the storage, like I try to put a lot of like vintage stuff that, you're not currently using but you don't want to get rid of. So just to make it look like an actual basement. Tires, whatnot, old toys. I'm actually quite happy with how it turned out. It's kind of funny. It's just so random, but it's like legit. I have an extra chair here from my kitchen set because I don't need it right now. So that's kind of my inspiration for the basement. All right, so that was my house. So we'll go back around to the front. Too bad the bus wasn't running right now. We could catch it to the other side. So now we'll go this way across the bridge. So we're going to pass the front again and pass the neighborhood. And then on this side of the bridge is the second neighborhood. But before we hit that, we have the other beach. So I wanted to do a kind of fairground, carnival, boardwalk type area. So this is what I came up with. It's kind of rough, but it's just so you can kind of get the idea. The space was not, I didn't have enough space to really do what I wanted, but I think you understand what it is. It's a boardwalk carnival with games and toys, rides. So that was what I wanted to go for, and I actually think it was successful. Probably with more space, I could have done a cooler carnival, but, like I've said in past videos, beaches are my nemesis, so filling them up is hard, but, it's a carnival. You can do fun carnival things. It's a boardwalk pier area. So it was a great way to fill up space and to look full and fun. So I'm happy with it. I'm okay with it. How about that? It goes the whole length of the beach, just randomness. And like with everything in my island, some things work and some things are out of commission. So this ride isn't currently running. It's the whole story of the island. It's not quite, you know, put together. We've got these monsters are gonna fight. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? I don't know who's gonna win. So, yeah, I thought it was kind of a good way to fill up beach area. I wish I kind of had a different pattern for the actual boardwalk wood, because this is the same wood I used for the other pier that was like Bumtown, and it doesn't quite fit the aesthetic here. I would rather like a whiter board, but I didn't have any design spots left, so I couldn't actually add a new pattern, so we were stuck with that one. So, but it's good enough. It sells the idea of a boardwalk. So now we're gonna run up to the second neighborhood. So my idea for this neighborhood was it was the high class, more gated community, and these people have money, okay? So their yards look a little bit nicer than the ones below. They have the nice plots, the nice gardens, and again, their houses are all these more rounded type houses. So again, these villagers were chosen for their houses more than their actual which villager they were. So I wanted all their houses. So this is Queenie and this is Megan. They were kind of the front and center of this neighborhood to kind of set the tone. You know, Queenie's got the nice hot tub in her backyard and whatnot, and all 5 houses, like I said, are those type houses. Like even the Zen fencing all around, it's kind of that, you know, we're excluded. We are amazing. We got money, honey. So we have, this is Deli's house, and this is Zell's house. So Zell, of course, smug. He's got a little bar in the back. Fancy golf clubs out front. So I really like these type houses too, and they definitely to me look a little, you know, they're classy type houses, the rounded houses. So they were why I wanted them up here in kind of this exclusive neighborhood. And then Apple too, so she's a little more country, but you know, she's got a little table and cookout area and whatnot. And then this is something I really wanted to do too, so it's kind of like a house coming. So creating an empty plot that a house is going to be. So it was nice because I'm on the second level that I could actually dig out a spot for like where the basement was gonna be, or the foundation of the house, and put all this kind of construction equipment around it to say like, oh yeah, we're gonna build another house here. Who wants to buy? Can you afford to live in this exclusive neighborhood? So that's what I wanted to do here. I'm actually pleased with how it turned out. I think you get what it's gonna be. Hopefully it's not just me that understands it. But I think it's kind of cool. It's an idea. I don't know. I haven't seen it done before. I'm not saying I'm the first one to do it, because as soon as I say that, someone's gonna be like, I've had that 100 times, 100 years ago. But I've never seen it, and it doesn't mean that no one's ever done it, but I thought it was kind of a cool thing to add to the neighborhood. And so we're going back this way. So our very last video was this nature trail that we wanted to do to lead to the campsite. I think it's actually really well done and totally fall. You know, you definitely get the autumn vibes. We have a little outdoor bath at the end. It's kind of your prize for making it through that huge long trail. You can relax in the outdoor bath. We're gonna cross the bridge and go to our campsite. So I just threw these couple of tents down here in this corner. It's kind of like part of the campground, but unofficially maybe. And here's our campsite. I actually really like this campsite. It was kind of nice because it is a city island to actually do one part that was a little more my comfort zone in the kind of cottagey country area. But I really am happy with how this one turned out. It was nice. I don't generally give myself enough areas for campsites, so this actually had quite a bit of area on this third level. And I kept with the fall motif up here, like the picnic blankets and the tablecloths everything is kind of that fall patterns and extra tents and sleeping areas back here. So yeah, I'm really excited for campers to come and visit me here. And they could barbecue and have a picnic. So little, they can do laundry, because, you know, who doesn't want to do laundry while they're on vacation camping? It's a thing. So then we can come back around, and this is where the campsite would lead back to the downtown core, or we can go this way, and this is where that bridge led back to Tangy's farm. So that's kind of how everything is connected. And that concludes Snow Bay. I can't believe that Snow Bay is complete. It took a lot out of me. Like I said, it was not something that's my comfort zone, but I am super happy with the overall aesthetic that we were able to achieve and make it city, more towny maybe, with lots of fall items. I love the fall in this game. I think it's one of my favorite times. I love all the pumpkin stuff, even though we didn't use a lot of it, but just enough here and there. And the leaf changing color. I mean, same in real life. I love the fall in real life and all the changing colors and whatnot. So I'm happy with that. So thank you so much for sticking with me through this whole experience of building Snow Bay. I hope you had as much fun watching it as I had making it. And look forward to the island reset. So that'll be coming up this week. So we'll start right from scratch playing the game from day one together. Also, we have Fire Cove. Fire Cove has now been completely flattened, which means it's just one big flat island with nothing on it. So we're going to start our new theme on that island as well. So we're going to have a lot going on in the coming weeks. So make sure you subscribe so you can be notified when all these videos come out. We've got a lot on tap. Thanks so much for tuning in to Canada Crossing, and we'll see you in the next video.